Hey there. Today, I'm so excited. Did you know there's actually a real Blair, excuse me, behind Blair and the Forgotten Flames? So Blair, literally, physically, emotionally, and in every other way, is my inspiration for the very first book in the Lubadoos series, Blair and the Forgotten Flames. Say hi. You know what I thought was really funny? You were telling me a few minutes ago that before you left to come here to the studio,
Yeah.
your dad told you something. What did he tell you?
He, he said to not embarrass him.
To not embarrass him. We should get him on camera.
No, because
And then he'd embarrass you. I just thought that was so funny. It's such a parent thing to say. So, do you remember when we were at your Aunt Nini's house and Uncle Sean's? Gosh, I don't know when it was, a year ago or something. And I said to you, I'm doing this thing called Lubadoos, and the first character is going to be Blair.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah.
What did you think?
I was so excited.
You know, it's really funny too. And I'm so glad you did this because you're such a kind, nice person. But remember that first character that we showed you?
Yeah.
You came up to me and you said, Val, this was like maybe 45 minutes later, you go, Val, do you think we could just change one thing about her? And I said, what? You go, my eyes are blue. And then I think things were getting real because like an hour later you come to me and go, can she wear a different outfit? Not funny. So I was just thinking about how, I don't know how it must feel, but I can't imagine. I mean, if somebody had made like, Valerie and the Forgotten Flames when I was a kid, I mean, I think it'd be pretty exciting. Obviously, this story is not about you. This did not happen.
Yeah.
None of this actually happened.
Yeah.
But it's such an honor. It's so cool to me that I could have made any name.
Yeah.
But I like the fact that I used your name. So when you were reading Blair and the Forgotten Flames, was it weird to hear your name, read your name?
Yeah.
Over and over and over, like every page?
Yeah.
What did it feel like?
It felt like I was like kind of talking to myself.
That's great. Do you think that, I mean, obviously, hopefully anyone could read that book and be in the story. Like, do you think that anybody could read it and feel like they're Blair in the story?
Yeah.
But do you think it was even more because it was your name?
Yeah.
What is it?
Yeah.
So, I know that you have a favorite part in the book, but I don't really want to talk about that because I want to talk about that with Sean.
Yeah.
Because he had the same reaction. And I thought that was so weird. So, do you think it's interesting that adults are liking the same story that kids are?
I mean, I feel like anybody would like it. So, and yeah.
Why do you think that?
Because it's such like a great story and like it's so interesting that the first page you read, you're just like, whoa, I'm into it now. And now you just kind of want to read the whole thing because it's getting interesting.
Oh, that's so cool. When you were finished, I'm sure your first thought was probably like, well, maybe she could write another book about Blair. But you know what's coming next.
Yes.
Is Madison and the Clock Tower of the First Hour. So do you feel just excited to read that one?
Yeah. But also, I kind of miss my name.
Well, what if? What would you think if, not in the next book, but what would you think if in the third one, which is also going to come out this year, do you think, what if Blair was somehow mentioned in that book? Would that be super cool?
Yeah.
What if in a future book, our Blair character actually showed up in someone else's story?
That would be really cool.
That would be really cool. So, wings. I mean, it was so, what was really hard for me to write, Blair, was when, you show up somewhere you're not supposed to be. Like, where am I anyway?
Yeah.
And then you look around, you got these things that sprouted from your back. I mean, can you really be seriously? Can you imagine what that would be like? No. But then they turn out to have powers. Right? So what do you think if you haven't seen all the powers yet, right? We're going to unveil more powers in the next and the next. But what do you think if you could make a power? Like if I was going to say, Blair, help me create something that wings could do. Maybe it's kind of hard because you don't know what each story is about. But what do you think it'd be really cool to be able to do if you had wings?
Like, if you were, like, if you, so, you know, Pagoda. Like, he's.
Oh yeah, I know him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If he, like, if one of the helpers got lost or something, your wings could, like, glow or, like, send a warning that, like, oh, this, your helper is lost. You need to help find them. And yeah.
Wow. You have no idea what the other wing powers are, do you? She doesn't know. But actually, we have a wing power that is very much like what you just said.
Mm.
But now you're making me think about how I could use that same wing power in a different way, like a beacon.
Yeah.
Ah, that's so good. See, maybe do you think you could come over sometime? I mean, seriously, and we could kind of talk about some of the next stories, and you could help.
Yeah.
Do you think that'd be fun?
Yes.
Okay. Do you think your Aunt Nitty would bring you over? She's back there. Oh yeah, of course. So I wanted to ask you something else, and then I'm actually going to ask Nini to come and join you because I don't know where I came up with this, but honestly, it's one of my very favorite things in all the books that I have planned is what we did with bringing Nini into that book. So if you went to Blaze Wake, you know, the desert region of Lubadoo, if you went there, where would you like to go most? So before you just say it, I'm going to read off all the destinations. Very unique in Blair, the Forgotten Flames, is that there were all these different destinations. I mean, plus you're riding a coyote. Oh, close enough. The Palms. Remember the Palms where you first saw Corthanox. Corthia, the Remembering Pillar. The Dunes of Doubt.
Well, no one was hard. It sounded like
in the chamber. Remember that serpent came and that big bull, that the wings and the hourglass on the wall and all that?
Yeah.
The Living Maze, where your favorite scene is, or the Salt Flats at the very end, the last battle. Where do you think you'd like to go? If you could really be Blair in that story, where do you think you'd like to go?
The last one, the
Salt Flats?
Yeah.
Why?
Because, like, it was just the most interesting to me. Like, when I read it, I was like, oh my god.
I know, I love how the flame came up
Mm-hmm.
and it wasn't even hot. Like it was the ultimate. Yes, that was super cool. So I just wanted to ask you one other thing. You don't have to, say anybody's name or anything like that. Just like in general. Have you ever known or known about somebody like our fake character in the book, Jessica Carlisle, who in this story was Blair's best friend and kind of really became the mean girl? Sorry, spoiler alert. Have you ever known a situation like that?
I've had a bunch of them, honestly.
Really? But I really shouldn't do a real spoiler alert, but I think in our story, what Blair discovered was it really wasn't as much about Blair as it was about Jessa, right?
Yeah.
Don't you think that's what it is when people are mean? It's really not even about who they're being mean to.
Yeah. It's about how they're feeling themselves, like on the inside, and then they're kind of taking it out on other people.
Totally. Do you think you could remember that? Like if that happens to you again, that you can just remember that it really isn't about me, and don't let that, change who you are, how you feel about yourself.
Yeah.
So that's why I love these stories so much, because we can have these lessons like that, but in a fun and magical way.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.